Hello, welcome. Right, today I am designing and building a art station for me to do my acrylic painting. I think it's really important for me to have the least amount of barriers to entry to doing a hobby. So if I have a space where I can just do my hobby and also put it away nicely without my person I live with tidying up my paints and moving stuff around. So if everything stays in the same place, I can just go there, do the hobby, and be creative and not have those moments where you're like, oh, where's my paintbrush or where's my blue? So this is why I'm going to build a place for me to paint. So let's be creative and do a hobby. So now let's go to my computer and actually see what I've designed. So here's my design. I'm on a program called SketchUp, as you can see. So I started off here, and for my art station idea, I wanted shelves round a easel. So then I designed the easel feature, which is going to be a flat surface with a dowel hooking into things, and then, as you can see, it's going to have sort of the ability to support the bottom of the easel with a fold down piece. So then I did that first part of the design. I realised if you look in here, for when it's away, when this is folded up, then the easel can slot into that. So then I realised I wanted shelves on top as well, so it was in a square frame. And then, so this is it with that feature, square frame, but with the easel in its being used position. And then this is it. Here it is in its away position. Sorry for how the controls are on this program. And then I was like, oh, how cool would it be if then I put it in, put doors on it, and I put it in. How cool would it be if I put it in a frame so it hides where all the paints are? I've drawn a circle on there because I do circular paintings, and that's the size of my average circular painting. So I knew it would fit in there. And then I've actually drawn it with the doors open here. So we've got, as you can see, it has hinged 45-degree doors like that. I'm excited to build this one. I'm not going to video me doing the carpentry to build it. I'm going to make it very simply. The shelving parts are all just going to be butt jointed and just screwed together for speed. I'm not going to sell this or ever give it away. It's just for me. I know what I'm going to do is going to be strong enough. Right, the next shot will be me with my art station after using it for a bit. Okay, so I've made my art station. This is it without the easel part in. This is the mechanism for how the easel works here, and the shelves. Okay, so let me get the easel. Now, I've actually been testing this, so you can see bits of paint on it. So I've actually been testing this for a good little while now. So this is this is the easel part. Obviously you can see this is all painted. This isn't a painting, this is actually the easel, but this is where I test my paints. And I just thought I'd do it in a pattern, so that's why it looks like sort of a painting. But so here's where I've been testing Posca pens, and some of these are UV paints, and some of these are just different paint mixes, and then I've tried to like sort of different types of green, blah blah blah. So hope you can see what I was thinking. Now let me show you its features. So this is obviously its put away position. It's locked in. It's all hooked in. Can't go anywhere. Brilliant. You go down the slot and put these down. Obviously you can see it just pivots, which is nice, so you can change things easily. So That's one of its positions. It's a good sort of mid position, and we've got this one all the way out, which is quite comfortable position if you really want to lean on your picture for whatever reason. Now there's also another feature which, oh, how do I do it? I can't actually remember. Here we go. No, hang on. Here we go. This wasn't what I designed, but I actually found this position quite useful. So on the top one, but with the supports up at an angle, you can then have the bottom of the picture quite close to you. And then if you're doing a picture that you just want to rotate and do the outside of detail, you can then rotate and paint. That's good. So another feature I added was, obviously you've got this, a bit of wood screwed on here as the lip for the painting to sit on the canvas. But I actually put a couple of screws in, because I realised I wanted a mid position. What I mean by that is, here's a gesso bit of plywood. So obviously you can sit like that, or if you want to paint the other side of it, you can turn it, obviously. Now, but if you wanted a mid position, because of the two screws, which I think would be nice if they're wooden dowels, but you can then have a 45-degree position. So that's another feature I added. But things I want to add to it is, it'd be quite cool if this slotted in at this level. So if it's slotted in, it wouldn't pivot. So what I need to do is cut a new hook or slot into this section so that I can slide the dowels in and it hooks in. So when you push down on the outside, the vertical lifting force is counterbalanced. Flat mode. And then let's talk about the shelves. Right. So for the shelves, these are really good. I've assembled this so you can see them, but I did actually have all my paints in there. They're all currently on the table back here. They're good. I actually found that a lot of paint tubes tend to fall over a lot, which is really frustrating. And then when you're trying to get one out from the back, then you knock all the others out and they all fall out. So I want to think of something to sort that out. Now the other plan was to put, so let's say sort of doors on all of this, so it looked like it was framed and you couldn't see all the messy paint, and it just had like this nice, when you're not in use, it had this, it looked like it was away. So I was going to do 45-degree mitered joints in the corners of the doors, was my original plan. But I actually think, because I want this to be a shelf, so I can put my brush cleaning stuff there. So because once this is out, it'd be a better reach. Oh, excuse me, dog. And so that I want that to fold down to become a shelf. I want this one to fold up so that then maybe have lights on it, and then this can be doors. So I'm going to do this one and the bottom one at full length, and then these would be smaller doors. Here's everything back in it. I'll quickly run you through what I've got in here. I've got all my mostly Liquitex paints there. I've got the abstract paints here. Got my Posca pens down there. Got my fluorescence paints here. Gesso and masking tape there. Got my mediums and my blacks up there. I've got toilet roll and kitchen towel there with some paints I don't use behind. I want to make an actual, put a dowel across. So I have an actual holder roller for that. I think I'll find that easier to use. Make it. As I keep saying, I'm messy, so this is really important. This is where I keep my Stay Wet palette, and the bits from my Stay Wet palette are the spare sheets. Here's all my drawing stuff. So I've got my lovely compass. I love this compass, really good compass. And I've got rulers. I've got a roller ruler, which is quite cool for if you want to do parallel lines on something. I've currently got a bit of masking tape on it because I was using it to paint. Loads of drawing guides, hexagons, French curves, circles, squares, pentagons, protractors and other things. So they're all really useful. In fact, behind the canvas, I've got my really big protractor, which is actually a wood turner's protractor, and small ruler, big ruler, messy ruler, got paint all over it. And there, and obviously I've got my brushes here, all in one pot at the moment. What's been happening, because I can't get in here with, so often I've been having, this was, I always left this long so I could have brushes of different lengths and some of my rulers there. But normally I actually have this here because I can get to it easier. And I'll just sit this on top. And obviously that's not ideal. So but where I want this to be is to be here, and then when I'm painting, this folds down and it goes on the shelf here, and that would be much more ideal. So the art station has come as long as far as it's going to for now. I'd love you to send me any ideas you've got for it, so I can improve it. So the next video on this, I will have the rest of the features I want to add on it. And if you comment, hopefully in time, I will add some of your features. That would be great. So I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe. Hopefully you get to see me do some more paintings, more of this art station, and maybe some more woodwork or spoon carving or whatever other hobby I might decide to do. Be nice to each other. See you soon.